Allure Best of Beauty Awards full of Well, that's the point of today's video. I am going over the Best of Beauty Awards given by Allure for the eye and lip products this year. If you missed it, this is actually part 2. Part 1 was posted yesterday, where I went into all of the goods of the complexion winners and telling you whether or not I think they're full of garbage when it came to giving those awards. This idea came about because I saw a lot of talk online about whether or not the Allure Best of Beauty awards were legit, or like if there was an underlying reason why some of these products were being picked. And as somebody who reviews makeup for a living, who has tried the majority of these winners, I'm gonna tell you whether or not I think these products should win such an award. Of course, it's just my opinion, and I have no clue how the Allure Best of Beauty products are chosen, but we are gonna go over the eyes and lips category today. There's some interesting choices here, I do have to say. This one, the complexion was pretty good. I don't know too much about these lip ones. Just a reminder, I am gonna put the link down to all of the Allure Best of Beauty winners. I'm not mentioning everything because if you don't see me mention it, I haven't tried it or I don't feel comfortable reviewing it. But let's go ahead and get started with the best brow products. We'll start off with the best tinted brow gel, which is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's their volumizing tinted brow gel. Now, what I do really like about this is it does almost add fibers to the brow, but I am not a big tinted brow gel fan to begin with, so do keep that in mind. There's very few that I enjoy. I will only use a tinted brow gel on super natural makeup days and as the first step only. And you know what? This ABH one is pretty good. It's not my all-time favorite. The Jane Iredale one is my favorite if you're curious, but this is a good one. And I do agree. So it won because of its mousse-like texture that bulks up each individual hair to create the illusion of fuller brows. That I do agree with. You don't get any shape with this, but it definitely adds a more full brow look. So yeah, the testers were awed by the formula's thickening ability. So I can see why this won. I don't disagree with it. It's not my personal favorite in the world, but I see why it won. So I would say they're not full of crap on this. It's a good one. So we have 2 brow pen winners. So the first best brow pen winner is the Benefit Cosmetics Mighty Fine Brow Pen. And I was very impressed with this. And this is their second time trying this out because the first time they formulated it, it was terrible. It was dry. But this new one is amazing. It really does create quite natural hair-like strokes. I'm not a regular brow pen user, but I do really like this one kind of for, I guess I would say, the beginning or inner parts of the brow. It's really nice. It doesn't deposit too much color, and it's very easy to blend out if you make a mistake or you want to soften it. If you go in with your finger or a spoolie, it cleans it right up. I have said that this is really nice as somebody who does not love a brow pen, and they love the triple tipped applicator, sharp yet flexible points, and a buildable tint. Totally agree with everything that they're saying. I do think this deserves an award for a brow pen. The other one also won last year, so this is a repeat offender. This is the Maybelline New York Build-A-Brow 2-in-1 brow pen. Now, what I hate about this is there's almost no brow gel in here, very little. It's a decent brow gel, but what I like is the brow pen side. I said last year this might have been the best brow pen I've ever tried in my life. It's a little singleton compared to the 3-prong that we just talked about, but this is a phenomenal brow pen from the drugstore. The brow gel is just a bonus. So if you like the pens, both of those are good options. I absolutely agree with them. And then the last brow product that I have that I've tried, the best brow pencil goes to the Glossier Boy Brow Arch. I think this is a great brow pencil. I still am in the old days of using Benefit and ABH, but this is a good one that launched this year. It's a really nice, tiny, thin shape. It's not too creamy, so it's very easy to blend out. I like it a little bit dry like this. I have no complaints about it, and it's a newer product to the market. As somebody who's been using the OGs for years, I really enjoy this brow pencil. So you know what? I'd say she deserves the award. So far we're starting off strong here. Let's make our way into eyeshadow palettes. Well, this is the only one. This is the best eyeshadow palette, apparently, according to Allure. It is the Hung Van Gogh Color Story eyeshadow palettes. This is a very, very new launch, like in the last few weeks. So why they love this and they chose it is how simple it is to create a look with their pre-curated color stories, which comes with 8 different options. They say the formulas lay down heaps of pigment and spread and blend beautifully. This particular shade I love from Hung Van Gogh, New Neutral. I don't love all of the shades as much as I love this one in particular. I think New Neutrals is very well curated if you're into neutral shades. Some of the colored ones I have mixed opinions about. I personally wouldn't give this Best Eyeshadow Palette of the Year award, but it's a good eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to say I disagree with this, but it is a good palette. It's not a bad choice, but I do think that there's better choices. Also, the best eyeshadow stick in the bold and sparkle category is going to the Half Magic Sparkle Stick Eye Crayons. And I do agree, if we're talking eyeshadow sticks and we're talking glowy and glittery, Half Magic has this hands down, easy. My problem with a lot of these glittery sticks is they look broken and crepey on the eyelid and dry on the eyelid. Half Magic does the least of that. Some shades are a little smoother than others looking on the lid, but if you like a sparkle stick and you want it in stick form, Half Magic I would say is probably the only brand you'd want to go to. I still need to try that new Danessa Myricks one, but these are thin, they wear a long time, and they are sparkly with a gorgeous color range. So many options, very easy to use. Today on this eye, I used Cloud Kid, and then on the outer half of the eye, Punk Pony, just to give me a little bit more definition here, and nothing but good things to say about these. Speaking of why they said it won, it's because it actually clings to the lid and gives you that intense reflectiveness without the fallout, and I do agree that this was worth being an award winner. Now, the best liquid eyeshadow are the, I've had these for a while, I kind of forgot about these, honestly. The Danessa Myricks Twin Flames Multichrome Pigments, and I feel like I didn't like these in the past, and I refreshed my mind today on these, and I liked them. They kind of have a powdery dry down. For some reason, I thought they were crepey and cakey, and I just disagree with that now. I think it needs a little bit of layering to be even on the eyelid, and part of that might just be the multi-chrome element of it. But these are pretty good. If you like the colors of them, I do think they're nice. These are nicer than a lot of other multi-chrome liquid eyeshadows that I've used, but I don't reach for these very often. This is not specified in like a multi-chrome category. I think there are better liquid shadows out there. I will say that. This for me would not have won the award, but these are not a bad choice. They're a good product. I mean, which one am I wearing today? Soulmate, and I've had these for a bit and they haven't dried out or anything, so that is also something that is important to note. So yeah, these are pretty good. I was ready to say these don't deserve it, but they are way better than I remembered, and they're very easy. They're not crackly. I have other liquid shadows that I wear more and like better, but these are a good pick, but I would have picked something else if you care. All right, eyeliner. This one is interesting. And an interesting category that they made up. The best neutral pencil liner goes to the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. So this is for the eyeliner category. So I was like, okay, why did they pick this? So if you didn't know, these aren't meant for just the lips. You're able to use them everywhere. And they say that the pigment is soft enough that it doesn't drag, but it's not so soft that you can't create a sharp line. I so disagree with that. This does not deserve the award. I like these as lip liners, but these are so soft. They blend away. They do not last on the eyes at all. Zero longevity. So no, I don't think these deserve the award for an eyeliner. I thought that that was very, very odd. But the best color pencil liner goes to a classic, the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner pencil that I have been using since middle school. I am 29 for reference, so I have had extensive use of this over the years. Many of the colors have come and gone, and I happened to dig into my collection today. I have the shade Empire. I didn't think I had a colorful shade, but I do. But these are a great quality eyeliner pencil. I think there have been ones that have outperformed and that have since been launched, but back in the day, these were the ones, and I will give it to Urban Decay. They've always had an amazing, fun color range if that's what you're into, and this is the best color pencil category, so for that, I'm going to agree. I don't think eyeliner pencil, it's the best in the market. It's still a top runner, but it's not my all-time favorite longest wearing. However, if we're talking colors, this range has the best and the longest lasting, so it definitely deserves to win in this category. And it worked out perfectly that the shade I happened to have this time around was Empire. It worked perfect with my eyeshadows, so it does spread across the lids relatively easily. It's not the most effortless anymore, but it's still pretty easy, and it has great longevity. So for the colored eyeliner stitch, I will have to agree with that. Moving on to the mascara category, the best tubing mascara, a semi-new-ish category nowadays, is from Kulfi. This is the Baddie Lash Mascara. This is a very, very good tubing mascara. Do keep in mind I'm somebody who hates mascaras because I have the worst lashes, but why they say it won is it says the polymers included in this formula just bulk up the individual lashes like no other and gives you volume that washes off right away with warm water. And I will agree, this is one of the easiest ones to wash away, even sometimes with a regular makeup remover. It doesn't need water to come off, and for it being a tubing mascara, it builds up a lot better than a lot of other tubing mascaras, but it doesn't really give too tubing to me. I still prefer like my Thrive Cosmetics and my Hourglass. Those are my two favorites. But this is a very, very good tubing mascara, and it gives more volume than the other ones that I previously mentioned. But personally, for my eyelashes, I prefer a little bit of length and separation. So this wouldn't win for me. But if you want a tubing mascara with volume, I will say this is probably the best in that option and category. And then this one I thought was an interesting choice. The best lengthening mascara goes to Lancome for the new-ish Lash Idol Flutter Extension Lengthening Mascara. These have the tiniest little bristles I've ever seen. It's almost like a little straight stick. I love Lancome mascaras, and I do think they have some of the best lengthening mascaras on the market. However, this one doesn't impress me. I think Lancome in its own line has better lengthening mascaras. So it's not a bad mascara. Lancome can put together a good mascara. However, I don't think this deserves an award, but that's just me. So that sums it up for what I've tried from the eye category. Let's move on to the lip category. We'll start off with lip liners. If you hadn't guessed by now, I have the list and everything in front of me, so that's why I keep referring to this. Lips has been a category that has grown so much over the years. There's so many different options out there, and honestly, while it is such a large category, I do find it to be a little overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time. Overwhelming for the amount of the products, and underwhelming because they all are starting to morph into the same product and feel and act the same. Starting off with what they are saying is the best lip liner pencil. That's going to a classic here, the MAC lip pencil, which I have grabbed for more this year than in probably the last 10 years. They really do have the best colors. This particular formula doesn't have the best longevity, but that's not always a bad thing with this wooden style pencil. They say it won because it sharpens so easily into a super fine point, glides on effortlessly, no skip or drag. I do agree with that. Great color range. It's not my favorite lip pencil because longevity is important to me, so I wouldn't give this the award. However, I've definitely used this much more than I have in previous years, so it has also been brought to my attention how great these are. Now, the best tinted lip gloss went to the Makeup Forever Super Boost Lip Glosses. This is the most underwhelming lip gloss to me on the market. It's not a bad lip gloss product. It has a little bit more stick to it compared to a lot of other lip glosses out there on the market, but that I think helps with longevity, and it looks fine. I don't really care for the smell of it, but this is so blah to me. It's so middle of the road, doesn't stand out at all. This would not have won for me. I'm seeing why they said it would win. They just said they were reaching for it a lot. Has a lot of flattering shades, not sticky. I think it's a little sticky. No feathering. It does smooth out the lip lines. It's fine. It is not a bad lip gloss, but to win the best lip gloss award in this day and age where there's so many other amazing lip gloss formulas, no, I disagree with this one. Now, the best lip oil, they said, is from our good old friend e.l.f., the Glow Reviver Lip Oil. Now, for the price point, these are great. They are worth the virality, but I've never felt like these were the best lip oil formula. For me, they are too thin, but that might attract you to a formula like this, and you can't beat the price point. However, it's too thin and it doesn't last long enough for me. So for me, this does not deserve the award of the best lip oil, but I know a lot of people love it. They picked it out because it's slick, it's hydrating, great tint, natural lip enhancing hues. It's a good lip oil, especially for the price point. However, it's not the best lip oil in my opinion. So that one, I would not have picked myself. Now, jumping back, we have another lip gloss. I don't know why this was out of order, but the best plumping lip gloss goes to the YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Gloss Oil. I just don't think me and the Allure editors have the same lip product taste. Now this one, because they say it's a gloss, it's an oil, it's a lip plumper, it is very spicy on the lips. It's very, very plumping, and it is a pretty gloss. It's a nice little treat to yourself with the luxury packaging. However, plumping, the best plumping lip gloss? No, especially for the price point. I think this is a middle of the road formula, masked in gorgeous packaging and just being from the YSL line, which I do very much love the YSL line, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this formula is anything special. It's not a bad formula, but there's nothing that stands out to me when there's so many options on the market. Ugh, oh, I'm getting thirsty. If you pay attention to what's trending and what's coming out, these tinted lip balms are everywhere. Every brand's coming out with their own version. So the best tinted lip balm was the Glow Recipe Glass Balm Lip Treatments. And I think these are fabulous. I really, really do enjoy these. These only come in 4 shades inspired by the South Korean dessert. Like, it's just shaved ice dessert. Why do they love it? They just talk about the formula. They don't really explain why, but I do really like this, and it actually gives a good amount of pigment as well. I have other lip treatment balm styles like this that I love better, but these are not a bad choice. These, I think, really bridge between the lip gloss and lip treatment. They're very, very gorgeous. I don't know if I would have picked them for this, but I do think they're deserving of an award. I love the pigment level that they have, and I think that they're gorgeous, and they are hydrating, so they are good ones. This one won the award for the best lip crayon. Interesting, I feel like I hadn't seen anybody use these recently. These are the Pat McGrath Labs Dramatic Mega Lip Pencil, and for some reason I do associate lip crayons with being a little bit more on the dry side, but this one is one of the creamier ones on the market. It really does have a nice glide across the lips. I have mine in the shade Nude Venus, which is just the perfect everyday pinky lip color. You know, they say it won because the creamy texture just spreads beautifully. The shape makes it very easy to get nice precision when it comes to application. And then you have some playtime because it does have a creamy application and it will set down a little bit, giving it decent longevity. I personally like the Ilia lip crayons better. That would have won my award. I like mine a little bit drier. I like that this is creamy and then it has a little bit of a dry down, but it hasn't ever really been one that has called out to me as a favorite. So I think it's a good product, but I personally wouldn't have picked this one. But I do agree with their sentiments for sure. And then the best cream lipstick goes to the Valentino Beauty Spike Buttery Matte Lip Colors. I have two different shades. The one I'm wearing right now, which one are you? 123R. Sorry, I don't have a more solid name. These are fine. These are a nice matte lipstick. Are these an award-winning lipstick formula to me? Not really. They're relatively comfortable and thin given their matte finish, but there's a lot of other luxury brand lipsticks that I think do the same job as this. I tend to like a thinner lipstick, but while I've enjoyed these and owning these, I've never used these and have been like, these deserve a best of award. So I would have picked something else when it comes to matte lipsticks. However, these are a nice formula, but they are a luxury $48 lipstick, and there are other luxury lipsticks that I like the performance of better. So, not a bad product, but award winner wouldn't have been my first choice, especially with the access that they probably have to these beauty products. And then the very final, this one also shocked me, the very final winner for today is the best liquid lipstick, which goes to the Pat McGrath Labs Liquid Lust Legendary Wear Lipstick, which I have never been a giant fan of. It's a very thin, watery liquid lipstick formula that I find emphasizes the lines on my lips. I'll give it credit, it is comfortable, but it looks uncomfortable on my lips. So the reason that it won, I think, is because of Taylor Swift. Since Taylor Swift is a Pat McGrath lip fan, they wrote about it here. But they do say they enjoy the formula's weightless texture. It is pretty weightless. One stroke opacity, comfortable feel, and it has great longevity. But just for me, it makes my lips look too crinkly and dry, even if it doesn't feel that way. So I've never really loved these. So I was actually quite shocked to see these making the list. So for me, that one isn't worth it. But there we have it, you guys. That sums up for today's video. All of the Allure Best of Beauty Award winners, and whether I think Allure is full of or not when it comes to these selections. I thought they did a really nice job with the complexion category. They really lost me at the lips category. I don't agree with hardly any of their choices, but that's just me. Those are my opinions. If you see these in store and you see that little red mark, the Allure beauty editors very much enjoy those products, but those were Morgan's thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little 2-episode installment. Again, if you've missed the complexion part 1, I'll have that linked down below for you guys. And kudos to you if you watched part 1 and are sitting here watching part 2 today. If you've tried any of these products, let me know your thoughts on them. And let me know, do you think Allure Best of Beauty is full of or what? I'd love to hear it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. I've enjoyed my time with you, sitting down, talking about all of these products, and I will continue to do so. So, see you in the next video, guys. Bye.
It's delicious.